I need you to be brutally honest with yourself for a second. When was the last time you blamed someone else for your problems or left a difficult task undone because it felt uncomfortable? These behaviors are classic signs of being a man-child, and women can spot them from a mile away. Imagine transforming from an unreliable person into someone who takes complete ownership. That's the challenge I'm presenting today. I'll share specific changes that will elevate your maturity and attractiveness. The guys who commit to this process don't just improve themselves. They see real results in how women respond to them within weeks. Picture this. You're out on a date at a nice restaurant. Under the table, your hands are frantically checking your bank account balance while trying to maintain eye contact. Meanwhile, across town, another version of you is calmly enjoying conversation, completely at ease because this date was budgeted for weeks ago. Which guy do you think is making the better impression? Money management reveals your maturity level. And trust me, women are looking at this aspect way more intensely than you realize. They're noticing everything about how you handle money. Often before you've even picked up the check, here's what most guys get wrong. They think flashing cash or buying expensive drinks impresses women. But the reality? Women are scanning for financial responsibility. A staggering 78% of women consider financial irresponsibility a major deal breaker when dating, ranking it even higher than physical appearance. The man-child approach to money is painfully obvious. Take my friend Mike, who earns a decent salary but constantly complains about being broke. Last month, he skipped paying his phone bill, yet dropped $200 on concert tickets the same week. Women notice this disconnect immediately. Contrast this with a mature approach. This guy isn't necessarily wealthy, but he's financially stable. He has a clear budget. He knows exactly how much he can spend on dinner without sweating it, because he's planned ahead. When he treats someone, it's because he's allocated funds for social activities and genuinely wants to enjoy the experience. Financial emergencies highlight the difference dramatically. When the car breaks down, the man-child spirals into panic mode. He might even reach the point of asking his date if she can spot him some cash. Yes, this actually happens more than you'd think. Meanwhile, the financially responsible man deals with the same situation by calmly dipping into his emergency fund, a concept a man-child has never considered. Let's be crystal clear about what women are actually looking for. They don't need you to be rich. What they want is evidence that you won't become their financial dependent. They're avoiding the guy who will eventually ask to split the rent but somehow always comes up short. The stability that comes from basic financial competence, budgeting, saving, and planning, signals something crucial to potential partners. You're capable of thinking beyond immediate gratification. You understand cause and effect. You can handle adult responsibilities without needing someone to rescue you. But money is just the tip of the iceberg. Wait until you see what your living space reveals about you. Financial behavior serves as a proxy for other aspects of maturity. If you can't manage money, women often wonder what other basic life skills you might be lacking. Can you be counted on during difficult times? Will you pull your weight in a relationship? That financial responsibility we just talked about, it's only the first test. The moment a woman steps into your home, she's hit with the ultimate reality check about who you really are. Your living space isn't just where you crash. It's a three-dimensional resume of your maturity level that she's subconsciously evaluating with remarkable accuracy. Think of your apartment as a physical manifestation of your mind. Picture two living spaces side by side. One features overflowing trash and rumpled bedding that hasn't seen a washing machine in months, while the other shows a tidy, functional environment with clear signs of regular upkeep. Your space communicates volumes about your readiness for adult relationships. Most guys completely miss this. Your environment directly reflects your mental state and level of self-sufficiency. Women detect this within seconds of entering your home. That stack of dishes in the sink or unfolded laundry isn't just clutter. It's a preview of your entire approach to life and relationships. The man-child typically exists in one of two states, either expecting others, roommates, his mom, or eventually his girlfriend, to handle his mess, or living in constant disorder while claiming he doesn't care about that stuff. The uncomfortable truth? Dismissing living conditions as unimportant reveals a significant maturity gap. By contrast, a mature man maintains a clean, functional space because he respects himself enough to create an environment that supports his goals and well-being. This isn't about Instagram-worthy interior design. It's about basic standards of cleanliness and function. This difference becomes glaringly obvious when hosting. The man-child scrambles in panic mode, hiding evidence of his daily habits and masking unusual odors with air freshener. The mature man simply tidies his already well-maintained space. Women aren't searching for expensive furniture or perfect decor. They're assessing the potential mental load you might bring to a relationship. Can you handle basic life skills independently? Or will you become another dependent requiring management? This mental load concept matters deeply. When a woman sees dirty dishes, an empty refrigerator except for condiments, or a neglected bathroom, she's calculating the additional cognitive and emotional work she'd face if the relationship progressed. Women consistently use a man's living space as a primary indicator for relationship potential. They scan for self-sufficiency signals, actual food in your kitchen, clean towels, and basic cleaning supplies. These items create a resume of your values and habits that speaks louder than any words could. Your living space might be pristine, but when life hands you rejection, your response reveals far more about your maturity level than any clean kitchen ever could. This is where the ultimate test happens. In those challenging moments when your expectations crash into reality. Women aren't just watching your environment. They're studying your emotional reactions to see if you're truly relationship material or just another man-child in disguise. Imagine the scenario. Two guys walk out of their boss's office after being denied a promotion they both work hard for. The first guy immediately texts his friends. "This company is a joke. My boss has always had it out for me, and everyone knows it's all about office politics anyway." The second man takes a deep breath and responds differently. "That's disappointing. When you have a moment, I'd appreciate some feedback on areas where I can improve for future opportunities." The contrast is striking. Both men feel disappointed, but their responses diverge dramatically. The man-child creates a victim narrative where external forces conspire against him. The world is rigged, the system is unfair, and he bears no responsibility. This victim mentality immediately signals emotional immaturity to anyone paying attention. The emotionally mature man, however, owns the situation completely. After acknowledging his disappointment, he focuses on what he can control, his personal growth and future opportunities. This ownership mindset attracts others because it demonstrates reliability and emotional stability, essential foundations for healthy relationships. During conflicts, these differences become even more apparent. When his girlfriend brings up an issue, the man-child goes silent for days, making passive-aggressive comments or using guilt to get his way. Meanwhile, the mature man might say, "I'm feeling frustrated right now, but this is important to us. Let's take a short break and come back to discuss this when I can be more present." The mature man communicates directly about his feelings without making them someone else's problem. Even in uncomfortable situations, he manages his emotions and approaches disagreements as us versus the issue rather than me versus you. This collaborative approach makes him a partner rather than an emotional burden. Emotional immaturity destroys relationships more effectively than almost anything else, even more than infidelity. When one person refuses to take responsibility for their part in problems, relationships eventually collapse under unresolved issues. The most powerful form of maturity is taking full responsibility for your life and emotions. This isn't about blame, it's about empowerment. When you recognize that you create your reality through your choices and responses, you gain the ability to create meaningful change. Women are naturally drawn to this empowered stance because it signals a man who won't make his problems her problems. So, we've covered the 3 key areas that separate the boys from the men. But here's the real truth. This transformation isn't about becoming someone entirely new. It's about stepping fully into responsibility for the life you're already living. Dr. James Peterson, a leading relationship expert, puts it perfectly. Your life is your responsibility. You have to be accountable for that 100%. When you embody this principle, women notice immediately. This journey creates a man who enhances relationships rather than drains them. Start today. Create that first budget, deep clean your space, or own your emotions without blame. The change in how women respond will happen faster than you expect. But more importantly, you'll respect yourself in ways you never have before. Take one small step now. Witness the difference tomorrow.